After you've chosen 3 possible topics for your research, you're going to start to collect information from the web. In order to collect the information, we're going to use a program called Inspiration. You're going to start by launching the program. You're going to click on a new diagram. Now you have 3 possible topics. You're going to choose one of those to be your topic for research. So you're going to type the name of the person you're going to choose into the main idea, just like that. Then you're going to create 5 ovals attached to the main idea with exactly what you see written in the ones in the directions. So here's how I do that. Up at the top, there's the Create button with 8 tiny buttons in it. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click back on my main idea. I'm going to click another oval, back on the main idea, until I have 5 of them. Then I'm going to type exactly what I see here in those ovals. The next step is to select all the ovals and change the fill color by choosing Effect Fill Color. So we don't want them to be the original blue color anymore. Go to Effect and choose any other color that you can still clearly see the text. Then you're going to save it. When you save it, it should automatically name it with the main idea's name. Once you have your diagram set up, now you're ready to use a search engine to start looking up information about your topic. You're going to research information that fits into these categories. Remember, you are writing a biography about this person. So I'm going to choose a search engine, and I'm going to start by just typing in the person's name. Notice that it's already showing me results even before I hit enter. Okay, so it begins with news results. My second site is Wikipedia. My third site is White House. My fourth site is biography.com. These all seem like really reliable sources. I'm going to start with the White House. Okay, once I arrive at a site that has information on it, I need to actually read what it says on the site. Yes, you actually need to read what it says. So, Lincoln warned the South in his inaugural address, "In your hands, my dissatisfied fellow countrymen, and not in mine, is the momentous issue of civil war. The government will not assail you. You have no oath registered in heaven to destroy the government, while I shall have the most solemn one to preserve, protect, and defend it." Now, there isn't really anything in that paragraph that jumps out at me that belongs in my diagram. So, if it doesn't really make sense to you, you don't understand it, it's okay. Move on and find something that does make sense. Let's move down because I see a fact down here. I was born February 12th, 1809. Okay, that is a fact in Hardin County, Kentucky. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to flip over to Inspiration, and I'm going to figure out where that belongs. That belongs with Growing Up. So I'm going to click on Growing Up. I'm going to add a new symbol, and then I'm going to choose Edit Paste to paste it in there. I'm going to go back to my web page. My parents were both born in Virginia of undistinguished families, second families perhaps I should say. My mother, who died in my 10th year. Okay, his mother died when he was 10. Copy that. Go back to Inspiration, make another symbol, and paste. So that got cut off. Now I do want to go back and read what I have pasted to make sure it makes sense. If I come back and read this in a few days, am I going to know what it meant? Mother who died in my 10th year. Maybe I want to delete the who. Back to the web page. My father removed from Kentucky to Indiana in my 8th year. Okay, so he moved from Kentucky to Indiana when he was 8. Copy. And paste. And so this page is not that long. I would continue looking for information that belongs in my diagram. when I'm done with this page, before I leave it, I do need to copy and paste the whole website address. So notice I triple clicked up here, edit, copy. Obviously that's going to go in the website's used section. I'm going to add a symbol there and paste. Okay, so that's one page. Okay, now I'm going to hit the back arrow, go back to my search results, and I am going to stop on Wikipedia. Okay, here's what it looks like. Now remember, Wikipedia is a reliable source in most cases. This page happens to have the lock on here, which means they are preventing people from making changes to it. If you look at all the information Wikipedia has just on Abraham Lincoln, you can see it's like a whole book. And at the bottom here are all the references where all that information came from. They are citing 295 different sources in the article. Now here's another thing about Wikipedia, is that there is a table of contents near the beginning. Everything before the table of contents is really a summary of the whole article. And everything after the table of contents is more detailed information. So you can probably just stick to the summary part if you're going to use Wikipedia. Let's start at the beginning. I have his birth date and the day he died. I want to check to make sure it's the same. It is the same. The day he died, I'm going to copy that. Where should that go? Well, the only place it makes sense to put that is in latest news. And now I want to make sure that when I come back and look at this, I know what that date means. So I'm going to add the word died. He was the 16th president of the United States. Probably I can include when he served. Edit, copy. Now what would that be? Growing up, becoming famous, biggest accomplishments, latest news. I would say that counts as biggest accomplishments. So I need to add another symbol first and then paste it. Sometimes it may not be clear which category to add the information in. If that's the case, think about when in the person's life it happened. These are going to end up being kind of time periods in the person's life. Okay, so for example, if you're including when the person got married, they probably consider that a big accomplishment, but you're going to consider when that happened. If it happened before they became famous, put it with becoming famous, or growing up even. If it happened later in their life, put it with biggest accomplishments, or even latest news. Okay, so you're going to continue this way. I'm going to go back to the directions, and we're going to see what your requirements are. Okay, so you're copying and pasting facts into new symbols. Each fact should have its own bubble. Okay, so you're not going to copy entire paragraphs. Okay, each fact should have its own bubble. Now if they're related, for example, when and where he was born, that can share a bubble. The facts should be short, and they should include an age or a date whenever possible. This is important because our next step after we complete this diagram is to come back and put it all in time order. And so if you don't have dates or ages, it's going to make that step more difficult for you. The facts should not include other people's opinions, unnecessary adjectives, because that's really usually someone else's opinion. It should not include unfamiliar words. If you don't know what something means, you got to either look it up or don't include it. You should have at least 20 facts altogether. That does not include categories or websites. So far, I have just 4 facts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5. You should have at least 3 different websites. So far, I used 2 websites. I didn't include the website of Wikipedia, but I do need to include that. At least 3 websites. You can use this diagram to kind of figure out what questions you should be answering in each category. And the rest of these directions on this page are kind of a reminder about how to arrange things in Inspiration.